What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to be here with you guys. Hope everybody's doing all right today, wherever you might be in this wonderful world of ours. And if you're out there and you're doing your simming thing, I hope that it's all going good for you. But if not, here's the place to come and ask those questions that you might have. Maybe you're having a struggle on getting something done or trying to figure something out. That's what we're here for, to help you and to help each other. So be sure you tap on that subscribe button and join us here on the channel. Also give us a thumbs up and be sure to set your notifications to always so that you are notified each and every single time that we publish a new video. On this video tonight, I've got a guest with us again, and I've had him on before. You guys know who he is. He's going to be hanging out with us. As a matter of fact, he's coming back here now.
Yep.
And we got Brandon with us. So, Brandon, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And so, like I said, you guys, tonight we're just going to be talking a little bit about flying and simming and all that stuff. But if you got questions, by all means, leave your comments down below. If you don't leave the comments, we're not going to know that you're looking for help. And, you know, we want to help you. We want to help each other. I don't know everything. Brandon don't know everything. You don't know everything. But together, we can learn all kinds of stuff, right? And
exactly.
So, and also remember, I want you guys to be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be doing an interview with a friend of mine who is an actual pilot at some point here. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy having him on the show.
Ooh, I'd love to sit in on that one.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on that. But I don't want you guys to miss it, so make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss it, because we're going to do it live. That way you can ask questions right there on the spot. So make sure you come and join us when we do that. So today we're just going to be talking a little bit about, you know, flying and some of the mistakes that we make and some of the, you know, simple things you can do to make it a little easier. And tonight we're going to be talking about ILS landings. As you've seen that I did a video just a few days ago with an ILS, and it went good. The landing went good, you know, other than my overspeed, but that was due to me not paying attention because I was too busy talking. And but the ILS and the way that I did it was exactly the way you want to do it. So, you know, you can definitely watch that video, and if you do it that way, I promise you, you're going to have a good landing. You just got to pay attention to them speeds. It's really crucial that I don't care what M2 says. If you're on the M2 setting, I don't care if 10 people tell you don't do nothing, it'll do it itself. Keep an eye on your speed. And if you see that you're going too fast, hit your slash key right beside your shift. Turn on your spoilers. Adjust that speed. Even if you
Especially if you're going to mountainous runway airports. That's where it's really crucial to watch your speed coming in.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a tricky place to land too is Boston.
Oh God, yes.
You know, flying out of there is not too bad, but coming in, you gotta have your game together, people. Don't be tired on that kind of flight.
That happened to me one night. I was really tired, came in for a landing, went off the end of the runway, hit the water, bounced back up. Would not land. Yep.
I've made the mistakes, and one of the things that I think is really important is if you're going to do a long flight, be prepared for it. Because if you get tired on that flight, and maybe you don't fall asleep, but you're really tired, you got a chance of missing something simple that you wouldn't normally miss. So fly responsibly. You know, don't fly if you're so tired you can't keep your eyes open. I've done it. You know, I've got that one mysterious landing that I went through, where, you know, it landed me. I was only 8 foot off center. I still can't explain to you how that happened, but it did. Don't let that be an example of what to do. Let that be an example of what not to do.
Not to do.
Because that could have been a disaster. It could have been a nothing but a disaster. So it's just best to fly when you're not tired. I promise you. So ILS landing. Let's talk about that a little bit. There's a couple things to remember that will help you remember this a lot easier, and that's to remember the altitude where you're gonna switch over from M1 to M2. We're gonna go with the rule of thumb 16,000. It's a good spot. When you get to 16,000, switch to M2. And make sure when you switch to M2, turn off your GPS, turn off nav, turn on heading. Now, you can do something with GPS and heading if you want. As soon as you start your descent, go ahead and turn off GPS.
That's unusual. That never happened.
That's weird. Go ahead and if you want, as soon as you start descending, go ahead and turn GPS off, activate heading. When you activate heading, it's going to turn off your nav. So it's not like, well, what do I do? That's all. That's it. And then when you get to 16,000, switch to M2. And normally it should control your speed. It should. A couple tips that I can give you. I've done it. If it's not controlling your speed that good, manually slow yourself down. And I don't mean by the arrows on your keyboard or your throttle control. I'm talking manually go to the edit field where it's got your speed, and just let's say that you're at 300 and it's not slowing down. Go down to like 270, then do 240. And get yourself slowed down, and then hopefully by the time you get to about 230, and then when you get closer to the ground, maybe M2 will actually start taking care of your speed. I just know it doesn't work all the time, and that's.
I'm also gonna say on your way down before you go into M2 at 16,000, when you hit 18,000,
a person left channel common area. A person logged out of the server.
If you have an aircraft that doesn't control your altimeter, set your altimeter, set it at 18,000 feet, and on your way down every 2,000 feet or so, set your, hit the letter B to set your altimeter to make sure it's accurate. Because if you don't,
important.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you're going to run into some problems where your autopilot will shut off really high up, which I've had happen to me several times.
Oh my gosh, yep.
And it's not very pleasant when it happens.
Your altimeter is very important, you guys. So really, top two things: 16,000 when you're going to go to your. But let's make 18,000 number one. Hit the letter B.
Yeah.
Even if your plane does it right, just be safe about it. Go ahead and hit the letter B. And set it. I mean, there are planes that do it. The 320 does it. But there are times when it might not. It happens. So, number one, set your altimeter by hitting the letter B as in boy. And number two, at 16,000, switch to M2.
Yep.
That's, some simple steps that you can do. What other advice would you give them on the ILS landing, Brandon?
Watch your speed, definitely. And when you get closer to the ground at 500 feet, go into where it says fly plan to checkbox and uncheck that. Because if you don't do that, your autopilot will shut itself off. And you don't want that to happen.
Are you telling them to uncheck the M2 or to...
Uncheck the box at 500 feet that says fly plan M2 checkbox.
Yep. And if you do that, if you have a successful flight, you're going to know, because when you get to the end of your runway and you're stopped, your autopilot will actually shut off.
Actually, it shuts off at about 10 knots.
Yeah.
I believe.
So once you're almost stopped and you hear that, don't freak out. You're going to hear a bunch of stuff shutting off. It's all right. That means that's
normal.
You did the right thing. You got landed. things happen. Things happen. I was doing an ILS before we did this, and weird things happen. I have no answer for what happened, how it happened, rather. And so I'm going to do that flight over because it just doesn't make any sense. But that just goes to show that it is all technology. It is computers, plane, the plane, everything. It's all technology. Yep. And it can fail at any time. We don't know when it's going to act silly. It does, just get up and do it again. No big deal. I would say my favorite to fly with is probably the 320.
That's one of my absolute favorite aircraft to fly. It's a really good aircraft for flight. Landing, it does it very, very well.
Yeah, I've got and if you want to step in on this adventure, you definitely can. I've got an Oceanic that I'm going to do here soon, and I'm going to do a video with it, and we'll record, different parts of that trip, and then we'll put it together for you guys. But
I'll definitely be along for that one.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fly our favorite because, the 320 is not going to do a long Oceanic flight.
No, but I bet an A380 will. Matter of fact, I know it will.
The 380 would, yes, it would. I've not flown that one enough to decide if I'm going to fly that or not. I've actually got a ocean liner. I can't think the name of it, but that thing is massive, and you can go a long distance in that thing. I forget what it is. I got it about, I don't know, a couple months ago. Well, not even a couple, maybe a month. I've only flown that thing once, and that was just for a test flight. I didn't even fly it for not even an hour. I just took it up, flew it a little bit, and brought it back in. And that thing is definitely a plane of its own. That's for sure. That is for sure. So I don't know if I'm going to fly that or if I'm going to fly the 777 or maybe the 787. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll definitely fly that flight with you at whatever day you want to fly it.
I wonder if I could fly the Air Force. I wonder if that one would do a long trip.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. That's a nice plane too. The Air Force One.
Yeah.
That's a real nice jet. It's got all the bells and whistles, but again, doing Oceanic with it's not. Now, if I was gonna, do a long trip that wasn't involving going over water, then I could just land in certain areas and fill back up and continue my trip. But I've got some.
Now, are you gonna do this flight? Are you gonna do this flight online, or is it gonna just be strictly offline?
No, this is gonna be online.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whatever day you do it, let me know. We'll fly it.
Probably be Saturday. I'm gonna do the
Okay.
Probably take off sometime that morning. I might take off late Friday night. That way, I can fly overnight, fly that day, get there, turn around, come back, because I'm gonna fly there and fly back. I've not decided where we're gonna go yet, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Figure maybe something's maybe 9-10 hour flight, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another video you guys can look for. But yeah, back to iOS. Another thing I can tell you is when you get down to about 6,000, sometimes even 7, start listening for iOS info to start, doing some different stuff. And
Yep.
as soon as you start hearing that stuff, you're going to hear it say, glide slope, I believe.
Yeah, it'll say Nav1 has localizer, the glide slope is alive. And when you hear that, you definitely want to turn on your approach mode.
Yep, most definitely. And when you turn
Now,
it
I'm
on,
going to warn you, sometimes that doesn't
always happen.
activate. It is. I don't know if it's the program or what, but I may talk to the person who designs it and see if he can figure it out.
I have, today when my approach kicked in, I turned it on because I didn't hear anything. Just like we're saying, sometimes you don't. And a few minutes later, it turned off. Well, as soon as it turned off, then I started hearing about the glide slope, all this stuff. So then I reactivated it. So that can happen too. If you turn it on because you didn't hear nothing and it goes off and it turns off on its own, and then, you end up hearing it, turn it back on. It doesn't mean you missed it because it went off. The way I see it, until you're on the ground, you have a chance of catching that glide slope. Right.
Yep.
Obviously, if you get too low, then
you're not going to get it.
Right. But in most cases, you can turn it back on and you'll be all right. It takes practice, just practice. You'll get the hang of it eventually, and you're going to want to do them all the time.
I used to not be very good at ILS approaches until I just started practicing them because
you normally would just do
I would do an RNAV approach.
RNAV, yeah. And, he's still landing on a runway, but you never know what the landing's going to be. If it's going to be center or off center or, but other than that, that's where he started at. That's where I started at. But now we got ILS, so why not, fly it if we can fly it. Weird thing was I loaded my flight plan with a pilot's life, and when it downloaded it, it only downloaded the no proc. I don't know why it didn't download the others unless it's because that wasn't available. Maybe that was
that's odd.
I mean, I don't know.
Jesse up left channel flight sim mask. Jesse up join channel top 5.
I'll have to look at my settings on the downloader because maybe somehow it got deselected.
Maybe it got disabled or something.
Yeah, it very well could have. So, things like that happen. And we might do a video here at some point. We are going to do it. It's not even, maybe we will do it, but I'm going to do one on, going through that process of downloading your flight plan and stuff. That's something that can help you guys. So anything can help, we're gonna do it. So
yep.
Any other advice about the ILS, Brandon, that you'd like to give them tonight? Or
I would just say, if you're not comfortable with it, just practice. Don't panic. It will come easily. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And now it's like second nature to me.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to start out doing RNAVs, that's fine, because at least you can. It will land you on the runway. It might be off center and all that, but if that's the way you want to land for a while until you get the hang of things, then do that.
Yeah,
it will land you. It will indeed land you on a runway, but you just don't know what how accurate it's going to be. So if that's where you want to start out at, then by all means do it. Don't confuse it. Don't confuse yourself with it. If you don't want to start out worrying about stars and SIDs and all that, SID and stars, whatever, then don't. Start out simple. So
yeah.
Again, if you guys got questions about anything, be sure to leave your comments down below. We'll answer any questions that you might have for us. We'd love to have you on the channel. We'd love to have you on the video. Maybe one day, maybe you can teach us something new that we didn't know. For sighted pilots and others out there, we'd like to have you too, because you know what? You might have a way to help us that we didn't know. So,
you might fill in some of the gaps of knowledge that we don't have.
Yeah, we're definitely not, keeping out the sighted or anything like that. You're just as welcome. Even if you want to come up and hang out with us and be a part of that, we would love to have you, because more likely you might be able to help us with some stuff we just, like I said, we didn't know. So
yep.
Guys, tap on that subscribe button. Join us here on the channel. be sure to give us a thumbs up by all means. Let us know you enjoy the video or another video that we've done, or just in general the channel itself. You know, every person, you know, that gives us a thumbs up and gives us likes and all that, it does, you know, it does make a difference, and it means a lot to us. You're going to find some emails down below in the description. You can email us anytime, and we'll do our best to answer any questions that we can. If we can't answer it, we'll find the answer for you. So either way,
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get you an answer somehow or another.
Oh yeah,
Brandon,
we'll find an answer.
I want to thank you, Brandon,
Context menu.
you know, taking the time to
Leaving menu. Zoom to move to the
be a part of the
media controls to move to the item.
video again. We got more
it's fun
videos
as
coming
always.
for you this weekend, so be looking for that. I'm not 100% on what we're going to do yet, but we've got a couple things we've been tossing around. So if you got ideas for videos or something you want to see, maybe you want to see us fly through California or land in California or Florida or wherever it is, let us know. We'll do it. It's no problem. So, all right, you guys take care. Until next time,
Title is media
have a
control.
good day. Again, Brandon, thank you for being a part of the show. I really appreciate you. And shout out to all the other sim pilots out there, Josh and Thomas, Jesse,
Jake,
all you guys out there. We appreciate every one of you. Together, we make a great team. We support each other 100%. And at the end of the day, my friend, that's what matters. That's what matters. We'll talk to you soon.
End meeting, leave meeting, leave meeting, end meeting for all.